Yeah, a little bit of a precaution for a couple different guys. I think more than likely today's just the day of him getting his work in here. Taxi, cab, if you will.
What went into the decision to just straight starting Houser rather than using an opener?
I think a little bit of the usage of the bullpen and a little bit of matchup stuff too. It's thrown well as well. So just a general decision that had a bunch of different factors in it.
Talk to Buster and Zach or anybody about just he is under contract for next year, maybe figuring out the rest of the season more of a role for him. Or
we've kind of discussed whether it be this morning or other days, really everybody. The rest of the season, looking forward to different scenarios. So he's been involved in that too. But I think the main theme that keeps coming up is just trying to win games, and I think he's thrown well out of the bullpen. He's thrown well out of the recent roles we've put him in. But I think the bottom line is he's shown he can throw a bulk of innings for us, and going forward, how that comes, what version of it, I think is up for debate. But I think that's something for us to be successful he's going to need to do.
Does Houser talk about, hey, I want to be a starter?
I'm sure he does. I mean, it's kind of, we've had a bunch of, not a bunch, but several sit-downs in the office dating back a while ago. And, I mean, I think for most guys that's the ideal setup is if that's what they've done, that's what they want to do. And then if their time comes where it's clear they're in the bullpen, then the next version of it is kind of the same as the starter, is they kind of like to know what role they're looking at.
How do you assess how he's fared there, considering, he really would probably prefer to just be in the rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think other than the Seattle game, he's kind of accepted whatever we've asked him to do. He's kind of come in a couple middle of innings and done well for us. I think, especially Atlanta, just more aggressive with the changeup, handled lefties a little bit better. Overall, has just competed, and again, I've talked to them, but sometimes I just throw theories out of you guys watching from the dugout. I can't get inside his head, but sometimes when you're frustrated, it turns, you kind of manufacture that into determination. So, yeah, I think without asking him, I feel confident to say would rather just start the entire year. But if that's not the case, again, as always, you kind of got a decision to make. You can go two different directions with it. And there hasn't been any wallowing or whatever the appropriate word is, just more determination is what I've seen.
Bryce had been struggling for a bit leading up to the home run last night. How have you seen him handle what's kind of been his first real extended, cold spell in the major leagues?
I think go through, and again, a little bit of conversations, kind of just reading into stuff in the dugout or pregame. I think not a roller coaster, that'd be too extreme, but a little bit of variation day to day. The best players I've ever been around are problem solvers, and I think part of the problem at this level is it's just day in, day out. Grind is the obvious cliche word, and a little bit of variation on how to do that. But I think he's been pretty good overall, because you're going through 3 or 5, 6 game chunks, not over 100 games. I think kind of always coming back to his true self, and his true self is very impressive. We talked about it last night. So finding a way to stay centered to that area.
Were teams kind of attacking him differently?
I think a little bit. Part of it is how well can the pitcher locate, and we've seen some guys like Melton that can throw it wherever they want, and they can do it with really big time stuff. So part of it is going through the ups and downs of frustration. Part of it is the opponent you're facing on that particular day, and then some of it is it's obvious. There's more information out there now on whether it's facing Wiz or facing him, and I think it's kind of been the same theme though. What guys want to try and do to him, it's how well can they do it, and maybe how much more data or analytics do they have to support how they want to go about it. That's it.
Good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tony.
What did I miss?
Hey, fire one out
Fire
if you
away.
like, if it's friendly.
How's your catcher situation?
I think it's exciting.
Kiz was here yesterday and started the day by walking into the hitters meeting, and everyone booed him. So I think sarcasm. Most everybody in there knows who he is, and he's always just fun to be around in general. I think it helps. He does know some of the guys. We've done a little bit of quick background work to make sure if he's got to come in and catch a reliever with the game on the line, he's got a good feel for, maybe what a guy's strengths is or what he needs to do. But again, the familiarity already being there with everybody, I think it gives you a little bit of a comfort zone. And then, J-Rod's got some time before he can come back. How many innings he catches back there before the end of the year, we'll see. He can play a variety of positions. But I think Cavies last night kind of shows you what we got for now. He'll probably carry most of the load. And then, again, my excitement word coming back to it is just a little bit more of the future. Sue will be fine. He'll come back stronger. He'll be able to put on some weight during this time. Again, J-Rod will get his arm healthy, and then Cavies going to benefit greatly from being a guy like, hey, everybody's kind of looking at you. And he can handle that. He's very similar to Bryce, and he's got a calmness about him and a poise that's very beneficial. So for now, it's not what we thought it was at the beginning of the year. In the future, it'll be great. But it's all about today, and I think we got two good options.
Just to follow up on Kavanaugh, because, if you follow this system, he was never touted as the guy. There's other prospects who got more buzz. All of a sudden, he's the guy.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's handling it pretty well, certainly with the bat. But what's the defensive book on him?
Yeah, there's a variety of players, I think, that are out there. Some are got the wow factor. Rafi can hit one out of sight on any given pitch. But there's also your get-it-done guys. We've talked about Parks Harbor's kind of that guy. Koss, when he's comfortable and in a routine playing, is kind of that guy. Maybe not as much flash to it, although Koss wears more flair than anybody in the big leagues. But Cavi's just a get-it-done guy. And I think when he first caught for us, the compliment we gave him was you kind of didn't even notice he was back there, because everything, again, is, I think, calm and pretty clean. It's not as much of a wow factor with his arm compared to Susak's, but he gets it on the bag. He gets rid of it quick. So I think he's a guy the pitchers are comfortable throwing to, and we feel a sense of comfort when he's in the game behind the plate. He handles the pitch calling pretty well. I think all those guys are going through, the rhythm of the game can kind of come to you, but how can you learn from those big moments where it's a swing pitch and it can either go our way or not? So in a good spot, but learning.
Finally, he was happy to be sent yesterday by Pettis.
Yeah, I think again, Gary's done a great job, and over his career, he's done a phenomenal job. But I'd like to compliment our base runners. They've put him in a good position to do some things. Working with him and Shane and Tyra, and we've stolen third base only a few times, but have done it. Guys leadoffs, guys making sure they're sprinting to him and trusting him has been a big factor. So it's takes two to tango, and it's worked well.